And I'm on mute. Hey, Eric. Good time, Sean. Okay. Is this a recording of a meeting or is this like a recording of what? And I gotta get that link. Do you mind moving him? He's gonna be so sad when he gets attacked.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Nika. Are you in as Drupal4Gov?
I am not. It doesn't look like it.
Because I'm not actually recording. I'm recording like my notes for this meeting, but not actually the meeting itself.
Okay. But that would be the phantom note taker, right?
Yeah, that'll be yeah, it's literally just the notes. So
Okay.
it's um
Why is okay. So that's when that happens, because it happens on every meeting now.
yeah, that's because I set it up. I can take off the phantom notes. But it records the actual notes, but it doesn't like record the meetings that we can put it on YouTube or anything like that.
Right. And
And I
you think that's what it's doing now?
no, I mean I know that's what it's doing. So I get a link after the meeting's done that says, here's
Ah,
all the notes that we took from your meeting, and I'm like, oh great, fantastic. Um, and I think the login is just Drupal4Gov. I mean, at gmail.com and whatever our
yeah.
email code is, because nothing is secure. Um, but that's basically all I'm doing, and it's because I want to have comprehensive notes. That's all. Um, okay. So Kirsten is here. I'm here. Eric's here. Dan, I know Jess will not be able to make it. Um, and I know I gotta. I don't have the login to log in. So Nika, could you please log in because I don't have the passcode anymore. Because
Yeah.
I don't have access to share my screen.
Okay. Hold
Thank
on.
you. So Ostroff will be here because I saw him creeping on the document earlier today. Um, Daniel will be here. He already accepted, so he's just taking his time. My interns may or may not be here. I didn't like make it a requirement. Who else is supposed to be here? I'm looking at this.
All right, I'm gonna drop and come back.
Yep, cool. Oh, here we go. Bill's probably not going to be able to make it. Kevin Post doesn't show up. So, aside from Daniel and Ashraf,
We don't have quorum yet. We still have to have quorum. 50%.
okay. So you, me,
Mhm.
Nika, Daniel, Ashraf.
So all 5 of those people are here. Good to go.
Yeah, I'm literally just waiting for Ashraf and Daniel, who are taking their sweet time.
Can you all hear me?
Oh yeah, you're up.
Now let me make you.
Oh, there's Ashraf. Hey, Ashraf.
Hello, sorry, I just got back from a kid's doctor trip.
Oh, no, you're fine. No worries. I hope everything's okay.
Yep, just the checkup.
Oh, good. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we do have a quorum, so that's what I wanted to. I mean, well, I'm waiting for Daniel, and then we will have a quorum wherever Daniel decides to pop up. He's definitely showing because he messaged me about it. But we have to get started because I don't like wasting time. We're already like 5 minutes behind schedule. Of course, I can't start it. So, Kirsten?
We can't start anything until we don't have a secretary who's taking it out.
Can you share the link in the?
Oh, yeah, I did. Oh, right. You joined again, so now I have to reset. Wait, because we don't have a secretary, I can't start the meeting?
Well, we'll need someone to act as secretary and
Just
provide
nominate.
minutes.
Can't you just nominate me as secretary?
Okay.
How that does that work? I literally
that-
don't know
that
that.
sounds fine. So
Wait, Nick, are you recording?
No.
Yeah, I can see you literally recording. It automatically, because your host, are automatically started. Okay.
thank you everyone for attending. We will call this meeting to order with the roll call. Nominating Nina to act as secretary until Daniel is able to arrive.
All right. The following people are present. Kirsten Nina, conduct a roll call. Kirsten Burgard, Peter is not present. Nina Ogor is present. Nika Hector, Ashraf, and that is it for the time being.
Thank you. First item before we hit the agenda is to note that we are going to dispense with the treasurer's report for today as Kevin is out. The next thing will be our reading of the minutes from the previous meeting, or we can accept them as written. Is there a motion?
Accept as written. I second the motion to accept as written.
Okay,
I'd
I'll
like to make a
that
motion to accept it as written.
thank you for the second, Nika. All in favor of accepting the minutes from the previous meeting of November? Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All
Aye.
opposed? None opposed.
So motion passes.
Motion passes. Minutes have been accepted.
Okay.
Secretary, what's the next item on the agenda?
Open issues. Programming update 2024 GovCon. Nika, can you give us an update on where we are with that?
I cannot. I know that we were looking for, because Jess was primarily dealing with like looking for a place. So I know that Chris also sent out a request with the DC government or the conference, the people who deal with conferences, and he didn't get a response. And I don't think that Jess received much of a response either. So I think that's still a work in progress, trying to find a place for next year.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not. Okay. I hate that. And okay, so still not able to find a location for event. I think we should discuss a cutoff period for the location as part of new business, or I guess the next part. You know what? Let me bring it up here. Is there a date that we need to for sure have a space by in order to be able to have the event in 2024?
Would that be dependent upon when we have it? Like, I don't
I
even.
mean, yeah, it's a little bit of both, right? It's like the later we get into the year, the later we can have the conference. So we started planning the conference for November 1st and 2nd in June, and we had that location solidified. Solidified in what?
End of May.
So if we want to have an event in November, we need to have it confirmed by May, which means if we want to have an event in
August.
December,
August would be the
I'm just thinking, though, it's the last possible date versus the date that we want. So the last possible date would be June to have it in December at the end of the year, which is the least we would want to do. The best possible date for counting backwards. What is it?
For August, it would have to be
October,
no later than
September.
the end of
So
February.
3. So we'd need to have it no later than the end of February. So I guess, do we want to have a cutoff period? Because I mean, we have to, right?
Yeah.
So what is that cutoff period going to be for this programming? Is it going to be the end of February, or are we going to extend it to must have a decision by the beginning of June or the end of June to be able to have the event in 2024 period?
I would like the end of March. Like that would be nice to know that we have something by, or is it, is it
No,
too early?
No, I agree with you, but I think if we don't, my thing is if we don't,
To be clear, is if you pick the end of March, that is a really short time to get everything done for a August event. So you're looking at September, which means you need to look at all of the other camps and dates that have been announced. For DrupalCon Europe usually is in September or October.
Mhm.
Ashraf, do you know what the date for DrupalCon Europe is yet?
You're muted, Ashraf, if you're trying to talk.
Sorry about that. Can you repeat? I had
Yep.
this stuff for a
It's
second.
September 24th through the 27th.
That's what, yeah, that I was looking for. So you can't have Drupal4Gov in September, and you can't have it 2 weeks after I mean DrupalCon Europe. So you're looking then again at
November.
you're still looking at a Halloween
Or
if you
August.
decide by end of March, which is why I was saying you need at least 6 months to plan for a GovCon at 400 persons.
Right.
For anything larger than that, you're going to need about 6 months.
So our cutoff is basically February 28th.
Yeah.
It's a leap year.
Oh, extra day.
Get extra day.
Get
It's
that
a
extra
leap year,
day
Sarah.
in. That matters so much to this conversation. So you all need to have a solidified location no later than February 29th.
Yeah.
So I think next board meeting, we need to then have a determination if the movement is still not made on what the hell happens if we don't have it for this year. So cutoff date, and then I'll have a motion. Cutoff date for Drupal GovCon 2024. Oops, 2024
Event space.
event space is February 29th. Do we all agree that the cutoff date for the leads to get us the location for GovCon 2024 is February 29th?
You're making that motion?
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering.
I make a motion. I make a motion to say what I just.
I move that the cutoff date for Drupal GovCon decision for event space is February 29th. Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Motion passes. Okay, great. Nika, webinars.
So I have them scheduled out, I believe, until April. I do, but there's one thing, like social media comms. I am not clear on how that happens. Like posting to LinkedIn seems to be effective, I guess. But I get lost. So I started posting the thing, like every time there's a webinar, I'll post it into the Slack channel. And then I also communicate with Kirsten and Allison. So the Eventbrite part goes fine. Well, not even Eventbrite, but we don't use Ticket Tailor goes fine, but like communicating that out to the public is it's like I know you were doing it, Nina, but we need somebody else to like possibly do it if you're not gonna do it.
So how that happened is I was doing it, but then the comms team took over, so then I stopped doing anything with social media, but then that has since fallen through. So this goes
Okay.
back to the other point, which is what our old business slash new business is, which is we don't have communication or strategy as an organization, which means that we don't have procedures around it that are consistent. Um, I, yeah, I don't know. We need to have someone head up that team or take ownership of it. I believe Jess was doing comms for GovCon, but it was all kind of wrapped up because we were also doing webinars at the same time, so it just kind of
Yeah,
got together and there wasn't really a separation. But and I don't know that there is or isn't. It is communication and strategy for all programming. Is it programming specific communication and strategy? I literally have no clue, and I think we need to decide that as an org as well.
I agree.
I do. Because we need to have a strategy over all of the different projects, not just GovCon, but it has to also work for Gov Summit and
Yep.
for webinars and for
Half days.
which are-
So currently, right now, no one's posting to social media with regard to Drupal4Gov. Is that true?
It's a good question. That's a very, very good question. Of course, I can't see it on this one. My very quick answer is going to be I don't
No.
believe anyone is posting now.
And I think somebody should be.
Yep. I I was led to believe that it would be the GovCon team. Let me see if I can share this screen. So
Which
just
also ties into the fact that we have two LinkedIn Drupal4Gov accounts, and one needs to be.
we have two? No, we have one. We have a page and then we have a user.
Oh,
The
okay.
user, and I do need the, so this is the user, and the user has the connections, and I do need that only because I do reach out to people directly through the messaging on this, and I don't always want like who's ever moderating the page to be able to see the direct messages I send. Not because I'm like being skeevy or anything like that, but it's like a potential new sponsor.
Okay,
And
and then the link I put in there, that's the page.
yes, this is the page. It should look like if you remember, this is what the
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. So
Ah,
let
okay.
me see. The last thing we posted was, oh, look at that. Oh, it was a week ago. Nope, that's a lie. Let me see my feed.
So-
Um,
Because even Hannah's creating the marketing for it, but it's pointless for her to create it if it's not going to go anywhere.
3 weeks ago was the last post on
Ah,
just our LinkedIn. No one has posted on our Twitter at all. Mastodon has gone pretty much radio silent as well. God, this is such a small screen. Ashraf, as a business owner, do you have any recommendations? Like, yeah, October 23rd was the last time we posted.
In terms of like how to post, when to
Like,
post.
not only that, but like, how do we get together and do this? Should it be committee? Should it be program specific, like we were discussing? Should it be for the entire org? What does that team look like? I guess,
And you're talking about social media.
yep,
Right?
just social media.
Yeah, I mean, there's levels to it. I feel like the organization's, you know, small enough that typically you'd just have an individual, um, I don't know about scaling it up. It also, I guess, depends on your goals and priorities and whatnot. But I think typically I'd probably have, um, you could either go the intern, part-time
Mm,
employee route, where maybe you even get multiple interns to own different social media channels.
that would be
Um,
good. Okay.
and that way you have somebody who has ownership. Because I think if it's just something extra that we're all doing, then we'll probably just get a
Mm-hmm.
bunch of content out for 2 weeks and then stop doing it for 6 months.
Yep,
Uh,
which what continues to happen.
yeah, I would just get part-time interns. And the reason I say multiple interns is because I've done this. If you look at Debug Academy right now, we have no posts, but I have done this, and that's a deliberate decision at this point. But I've done this repeatedly in the past. And when you ask one person to do multiple social channels and they're not like a senior marketing specialist, um, they tend to not do any of them very well, just
Mm-hmm.
because it, the focus helps. So it's better to have, I think, more people,
All right.
fewer hours per person, and each own their own channel, and that way you could also tell who's doing a good job and that sort of thing.
We just need multiple interns to do that, which goes back to our.
And of course, that's just my idea, but yeah, um, that's what I would do.
I like that idea. Don't put your idea down, Ashraf. I'm like, okay, so we're doing it. One. How do we do it now?
Yeah.
Now we can have
Yeah.
someone who's assigned directly to the webinar stuff, so they can take Hannah's stuff and actually make it work.
Right. It's like we have all of it. We just don't have the funnel that it goes to then
Yeah.
disseminate it. That's where we keep running into the problem.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think we should come back to that because Eric is also on the call, and Eric heads up the web intern, which, you work with closely, Nika. And if we're trying to have this be an intern task, then we need to figure out like how to write that into the intern stuff that they will have to do, which we have not communicated that out, so that we have to figure that out as well.
Yeah, and if we did that, I would probably also have one of the interns or part-time employee, whatever they're called, be sort of the what is it called? The strategist, where they choose, this is what we're talking about, this is when we're talking about it. They can get approval, but they determine this is what we're all talking about, and then the various interns talk about it on their own channels instead of everybody brainstorming their own ideas per channel.
So I need to have like basically sort of like a strategist who's also in a senior role in the organization to sort of say, this is our message. This is like what we're trying to communicate out, and like here are the ways you can do it, interns.
Yeah, I
And
was actually thinking the strategist is also an intern potentially.
oh,
Basically, like, let's say the strategist is the person who is the intern for LinkedIn. Like they could get one channel that's theirs, but ultimately their first job is, let's determine what we're talking about this month, and they will have to talk to one of us, yes, to make sure we're on the same page. But ultimately, it's their responsibility to make sure there's a strategy that they get approved. They create and they get approval on, and then they disseminate it to the rest of the intern.
okay. All right. Noted. Thank you for that, Ashraf. I'm going to come back to that as we move to new business, but I want to go quickly back to updates. So any further updates for webinars, Nika?
No.
And you said we're solid through,
Did you
well,
hear me? I'm not
April?
on mute.
No, you're not on mute.
Okay. Okay.
And you're solid through April, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Probably not solid because that doesn't sound right. We have speakers through April. Okay. Half days. We have confirmed a day for half days. It'll be February 7th from around noon to 4 p.m. The location can host about 73 people over the span of 3 rooms. One room does slice in half. That's not wrong, but it does like have a breakout, so it can become 2 rooms. So potentially 4 rooms. Um, all to, 5 rooms. I'm sorry. 3 small rooms plus one large room that can be cut in half. 5 rooms altogether. 2 of the rooms can only have 8 people. One of the other rooms has around 18 people, and then the larger kind of session room can hold 40 altogether, split in half, 18 on each side. So reasonably around 70-ish people. No, 70 people who we invite, and then it can hold around 50 or something. I'll have to do that math again. But that's for the half day with Bixel, and we're going to be focusing on UX, US, WDS, and UX. That's going to be our topic that we will be focusing on. Louisa, who is the intern, is building out what that program looks like, though I think we're going to be leaning into training primarily with a couple of sessions. But given we don't have a big session space, it's going to be primarily a Drupal global training day. So active training happening. Once the other thing I'm going to be doing is working with Louisa to identify speakers, and I'm just going to my email very quickly because I wanted to see what I sent. I think we're going to be doing speakers and, okay, building out a tentative program, drafting communication around the event, and then building a tentative speaker and trainer wish list are the next steps for this half day that we're going to be doing. So that's on our list moving forward. Any questions on the upcoming half day?
When are we starting comms for the half day and soliciting for speakers?
Drafting that now. I'm hoping shortly after New Year's we send out our first round of comms to our selected speakers, and then we also post on social media. So my goal is to have it solidified by the end of January 31st, to have our speakers and things like that.
No.
Nope, absolutely not.
It's December 31st? Because you just said the event.
I did
February
say it's February 7th and 9th.
7th.
I had an appointment at 6:30 this morning. I want to point that out.
You did.
It's early. So then what day do I need to have it done by, Kirsten?
Typically I start alerting everyone about 6 weeks before an event.
Okay, so like last week.
Yeah. So what we need to do is maybe we can ask Hannah to set up something that'll alert people that we're going to be having a half day in early February. Kind of get ready to get back in person again for a half day. But this is going to be on USWDS, right?
And UX design.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're really talking about a very simple, very pointed.
Yep.
Here's going to be the date.
Yep.
And you don't have to have any other information in there.
Cool.
But we have to have speakers all lined up no later than the first week of January. Because we need to include their names and information about what we're going to talk about.
Hey, Ashraf,
Comps.
what are you doing February 7th?
Nothing I know of.
Not that I'm fishing or anything like that. You know. Okay. All right. Okay. But Ashraf, do you have any recommendations for trainers I can reach out to about USWDS or UX design?
You said trainers?
Yeah.
I mean, let me just check something. So for me, I'm teaching class that night at 7 p.m. But if it were, done by 5 or 4:30, something like that, I could probably do something.
I'm put you down as a maybe. Excited about that possibility.
Yeah. I mean, you could even a likely would be fine. But other trainers, I'm not sure. I mean, I've got people who could do like intro to Drupal, site building type of training. But that wouldn't fit here. So no, I don't think I have any other recommendations.
All right. Well, then I will start to scour my network. Eric, I'm gonna be relying on you to hunt down people. Nika, I'm gonna be relying on you to hunt down people. I say, because I don't know anybody who does development work aside from my boss. Okay. Good to know. I'm gonna move right along because we're running out of time. Kirsten, Gov Summit.
I reached out to the Drupal Association and we have started talking about how we're going to run Gov Summit for this year. I have a list of folks who have volunteered through the association. So I'm going to reach out to them hopefully today once I get the bylaws finished. I got to convert them from the PDF back into a Word document. And we'll talk about that in a minute. So I should be able to reach back out to them. My goal in doing that is to maximize the amount of money that they can make off of it while lowering the entry for government employees to attend. And then on top of that, also making sure that we can get a booth space for Drupal4Gov to get information out about what we do as well. That's the goal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we're still looking for someone to actually head up Gov Summit. You're the interim lead.
I'm the interim lead. Yeah, I'm hoping it won't be me, but I'm preparing for it to be me if I can't find someone.
So,
Because the goal is still, it's got to be a Govy.
so Eric, we're also looking for a Gov Summit lead.
Must be a Govy.
Must be a Govy on your ever-growing list.
Yes, Eric.
Okay. Eric, if you're talking, because I see you're unmuted, I can't hear you. I'm just letting you know. Okay. Gov Tech Leadership Summit. I have literally no news. So I have no news. Nonprofit general, we're going to pause on this because Kevin is not here. Though I still think we have, a few $1,000s. Let me not even say that. I don't know how much money we have. Website, Nika.
So we've made some progress. We are building out the blogs. It's actually the structure, the data structure is there. Now we need to theme it. So it's in dev, and I meet with the team tomorrow. And hopefully I want to get next after the blog are events.
Okay.
And then I'll move on to the people, like the organization.
Okay.
We're making progress slowly, which is expected because it's the holiday.
That's fair. So I know, Ashraf, you had recommended Wasim, who became an intern, and I believe that has worked out, and a couple of other people. And Eric, correct me if I'm wrong, but our next intern is a Debug Academy person as well for spring. We still can't hear you, Eric. Yeah, it's a bit of a problem. I mean, type to your heart's content, though. I'm reading. An avid reader of text. Okay, so we're gonna wait for Eric to do that, but while we're waiting, I'm gonna head to the next bit, which is intern programs. Okay, so that makes sense. We do have our spring interns. Louisa has agreed to continue on as my spring intern from the fall, so she will just be continuing on. And Eric also has someone. Eric, if you can drop that person's name in here, that would be great. I believe you were checking back to confirm that they were still on for the spring. I don't know if you've done that or not. But we do have both a PM intern and a web intern. Eric had to drop. I'm guessing he's coming back. Any other updates that we did not touch on, anyone? Ashraf, Nika, Kirsten?
Nothing I can think of.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I always have people I could recommend as interns. I'm not aware of this upcoming one being a Debug Academy one.
Okay. Maybe not then. But yeah, always Ashraf, please. Or anyone just want to help out with our website. We're always looking for people. And we're gonna put your name on the website if you do help too. Just waiting for that to happen. All right, Kirsten, new business.
Can you remind what the business?
Yes, it's these items may be voted on, amended, tabled, moved to committee for consideration, or postponed. These are action items for new business.
Form requires one additional person, really.
Damn it.
Other items that we have already voted on, I think there should be on next business items.
Cool.
I don't think we can do anything like
We can't do anything. So unfortunately, because we do not have, oh, Harum's Trifasa. Thank you. Don't know where that person is, but okay. So they
So
will be
basically, we're
our
gonna have to carry over these items to next
next meeting.
meeting in January.
But
We'll be actually able to vote.
I don't like doing that because it's 4 weeks out. That seems okay. It is what it is.
The only other thing that we can do is pack all of these pieces, post it to our site, and have a synchronous vote.
All right. So the things that I'm going to bring up, but we cannot vote on.
Anything related to money is what we're talking about.
Okay. Oh, only money?
Yeah, basically money.
Okay.
Anything that's a big policy thing probably would be fine.
Oh, Haroon designed and developed a portfolio website that showcase. Oh, so this is all the stuff about Haroon's. Oh, interesting. Discovered Drupal August 2020 to June 2023. Part of the Drupal Associate, the internet we're gonna have.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, we have a little GitHub. Okay, awesome. That's very exciting. Thank you, Eric. All right, new business. We have an update from Eric. So we're looking for new board members. Eric and I are going to be working on that together. And just Eric can't talk right now because his mic is not working. I am posting. Okay, cool. All right. So hopefully you hear back from Holmes. I'm proposing John Doyle as an at-large board member. Um, I think everyone here is familiar with John, my boss.
Yes, we're all familiar.
Cool. What say the group? Because we can do a vote on this, right? Even if we don't have a quorum? New board member?
I'd have to look up the bylaws again about electing a new board member. I actually think we'd be fine.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Well, I'm getting an I love John, which is fantastic. Um, so while she's looking it up, I'm gonna propose the thing. Drupal4Gov board moving forward. All in favor? Who seconds the motion? Okay. A motion has been seconded. So now, all in favor?
Aye.
Also passes. Motion has gone well. So he'll be here to be sent. Such invitation by time. The other thing we do is on the internet. So it's been evaluations. I'm showing it. We determine that we have this. They should be setting like we go through this.
This has to be continued with the board member, because if we have some new ones, and also new who's joining just now, and there, the three of us in you very well.
Try with you.
Aye.
Option. We're going to I need to have a marketing / strategy intern.
So we've already voted to have the three interns.
Yes.
What those types of jobs those interns do, we can set, because that doesn't have to do with money.
Oh,
So we have set aside the money for the three interns,
we have
and we want to do it at least, what was it, twice a year, is what you said?
3 times a year.
3 times a year, because it's in the vote in the Slack.
Yep.
How we determine how those are split up is something that we can vote on, or something that we can actually delegate to the operations director.
Who is me?
Who is you?
I'd rather vote on it.
Okay, then you need to push motion for.
Thank you for that, Eric, and I'll ask that. Motion to have our third intern be a marketing / strategy intern.
I second.
All in favor?
All in favor? Aye.
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 Okay, all opposed? Motion passes. So third interns will be 1 web, 1 PM, and 1 marketing. Okay. Ooh, that's gonna be fun. Okay, Eric brought up a good question that I forgot to ask. So Ashraf, hey Ashraf, you have classes. We were wondering if you okay, so we passed the intern thing last time, right? Where interns can get training. Are there classes available for our interns that you could take that would, how does that work, Mom?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Actually, I have a question, right? If one of our interns takes Ashraf's class and we pay for that, is there
Not class.
not a class?
The certification.
The certification.
Review.
Right. Like the cert, yeah, thank you, Eric. Thank you, Eric.
I see.
So
Yeah,
is there
wouldn't that be something you all would have to vote on without me there? I
So
oh,
we couldn't vote on it right now
right, because we
we
don't have a quorum.
but that is something that we can put on Slack and have everyone
Okay.
vote there for it.
So we do have to vote on that because it's a conflict of
Because it's a
interest.
money thing. We've already approved money.
Right,
We did that at the last meeting.
right.
And we said it would go up to, what was it, 300, 500, something like that?
300.
$300.
Mm-hmm.
Then,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, honestly, he can take any certification prep course he wants to take.
It's just the money because Ashraf's on the board, which is the thing that we
he
have
just
to.
can't vote on that.
You just can't vote on it. Okay. Okay. But we do.
John's going to have the same situation.
I know. Yep. I know. But we do have to vote on that. That's not something we can just push forward, right? Like if he wants to just take Ashraf's class and just go for it, like we still have to make sure that there was something written down that says like we approved interns to take classes from our board members, or is that not a thing?
So that wouldn't technically be the thing. We'll discuss this offline.
That's fine. Sorry, everyone. I took so long. All right. Organizational systems, CRM, we can't really vote on that, but I have included additional CRMs, ones that are specific for open source, that weren't considered in the presentation, so I wanted to have those. We could all review them. That would be great. Red Hen is a Drupal CRM designed by the Drupal community that Kirsten found. So looking at those. Project management, similar. I tried to find a couple of other open source ones. Plain.so is open source. I would also say that we want to be aware of the ethics around whatever thing we purchase. So we need to kind of figure out in terms of our vision and mission also the ethics with the programs or companies we partner with or use. And I don't think we had a good conversation about this before, so we might want to take a look at that. Pantheon had their thing that happened this past year. We still accepted them as a sponsor. Some camps did not. That's an example of kind of that weird ethics thing. Some of these companies, like Monday.com, do have ties and organizations that are a little bit iffy. So, what are we kind of going to do in terms of the ethics of our organization? And I don't have that answer. So, I think I have a motion to who wants to figure out our ethics policy as an organization.
Actually, that would be a good one to put in with our vision
Okay.
review. And we can open that up to any board member who wants to participate in the meetings that we have around this. So this doesn't sound like something that we really need to vote on as much as we need to just assign it to this subcommittee.
Okay, cool. Anyone want to join that discussion about ethics? Ashraf, Nika, as the only board members here.
I think I'm on it, because it says Kirsten will ping me. So, but yeah, that's something like to be able to.
Woohoo! Oh, exciting. Okay. Almost done. Oh, one last thing. This does not have to do with money. Short. Yes, it does. Damn it. Yes, it does. Never mind. Postponing.
What was the item?
Freaking short-term program policy. Like me buying DocuSign or me buying Calendly.
Yeah, can't do that.
Yeah, we can't do that. Just remind me upset about it. All right. I think that's it. Adjournment.
I have a motion on the floor to adjourn.
I second that.
All in favor of adjourning for December, say aye.
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 Okay.
Any opposed? Meeting of Drupal nonprofit is officially closed for December. Have a great year, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Right, bye. All right.